Hey everyone, welcome back to Bear's Workshop. In today's video, we are talking about car dealerships again. Now, these dealership thoughts and opinions apply to dealerships in the United States of America. I do not know how they are doing it in other countries. I've heard that some countries are a lot easier and some countries are not. But I am talking specifically about dealerships in the United States and how they are jerking people around really, really bad. So I want to go over a couple things on a recent experience and then just talk about why we don't need them and what they do for us, what they're not doing for us, and how they are trying to steal money out of your pocket. So a couple weeks ago when I was buying my latest vehicle, which was an F-250 truck, they brought out one of the worksheets and it had... I didn't see it because I wasn't wearing my glasses, but I got it in the end when the finance manager was doing it. They had the security system. It really wasn't much of anything. It was $499, and I didn't notice it until we were doing the paperwork in the finance manager's office. So he's going through the list of all the items where the salesman previously had not, and he had $499 written down for security system. I'm like, I didn't see that before. He goes, oh, he pulls out the paperwork. Yeah. Here it is. You agreed to it. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want it. There's no value in that to me. I don't need the security system. I have my own security. So not worth it for me. And he goes, well, I can't take it off. I'm like, well, first of all, show me what you're talking about. What is this security system that you have? So he takes me over to a car. He goes, we put this on all of our cars and we can't take it off. So we go over to a car. He shows me the door jamb. What they did was they put a sticker right on the door jamb. He goes, this is our security system. If you peel off this sticker, you're going to find information etched onto the metal right underneath. And if your car gets stolen, they can use this to recover the car. I'm like, doesn't the VIN number do that? Well, yeah, but here's the thing. If they don't get your car back within 30 days, they're going to give you $5,000. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want this. This is ridiculous. I've got insurance. I will have insurance on this car. I don't need the extra $5,000 because that's a $500 insurance policy to get $5,000 back if my car gets stolen. No, that's not worth it. Not at all. So I can't do anything about it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go wait outside and you come get me when you can find somebody who can do something about it. And he kind of just looked at me and I just walked out. And I waited up front for about 10 minutes and he came back. I got it taken care of. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that almost slipped past me, but it wasn't going to because when it comes down to the final numbers, I'm going to look at each line item. So let that be a lesson. Every little thing, they will try and sneak them past you. So what are dealerships supposed to do for us? Well, they're supposed to be there as service centers to provide maintenance and repairs under warranty if we need it. They are supposed to collect sales tax during the transaction, a destination charge, which is on the Maroni sticker, title and registration fees. Those are the things that the dealership is going to be collecting, and that's part of their job, and that's required by law. Dock fees will be on there and mostly unavoidable, but sometimes you can negotiate some of that off. But those are the things that are always going to be on the paperwork, and that's what we need from them at a minimum. What are they supposed to do to give us value? Well, they're supposed to give us test drives, provide financing, a place for service, which we already talked about. They're a middleman to the factory so that we are not going directly to the factory, which is something that we more often than not cannot do unless it's a Lucid, a Tesla, a Rivian, a Polestar, companies like that. Though there are some manufacturers that are starting to go in that direction. And we're going to make another video on why it would be great for the manufacturers themselves if they did a direct-to-consumer model. So we'll talk about that in the next video, in another video. Dealerships are also supposed to answer questions, be knowledgeable, assist in the buying process, make things right when they're wrong with the car, facilitate a trade-in, do the paperwork with the bank, collect the taxes, acquire the registration, and give you multiple financing options. Do they do all that? To some degree, yes, but they do it in their best interest. not in your best interest. They are not a fiduciary. A fiduciary is someone who does something on the behalf of you with your best interest, but they're not. No one ever says that they are. Real estate agents are supposed to be fiduciaries. They're supposed to, if a real estate agent represents you as a buyer or seller, they're supposed to be a fiduciary, which means they're going to be doing things that are in your best interest to make you the best money, to get you the best deal, the best terms, things like that. Car salesmen are not. Neither are dealerships. Nobody in that line of work is. So what can't they do for us, or what won't they do for us? They won't make the process easy. They won't save us money. And like I said, they're not a fiduciary. You cannot look at these guys as friends. You cannot look at them as someone who's there for you, someone who says to you, I'm here for you. My goal is just to get you in a car and make you happy. It's not what their goal is. Their goal is to get as much money out of you as possible. So what do to us? They charge us exorbitant fees. Fees for things that we don't want, we don't need, and we'll never use. I'm going to throw out a whole bunch of examples, and maybe another time we'll break down all the fees, what these are, and how to avoid them. So what do? What fees? Like Phantom Footprints was on one listing that I saw. That's a security system. They try and charge you advertising fees, which most of these advertising fees get reimbursed to them from the manufacturer. Dealer preparation charges. There are notable exceptions for that, but they try and charge you a prep fee for just having the car there, for doing the PDI, which is the pre-delivery inspection. And they're basically taking it off the truck. They're pulling the stickers off. They're pulling the plastic off, cleaning the car, and then they want to charge you $600 for something like that. There are some notable exceptions. I've bought things from a power sports dealership, and they actually have to assemble some of these vehicles. Something like a Polaris RZR will come in a crate, and they have to take it out of the crate. Then they have to assemble parts of it. They have to put certain things on. They have to put the wheels on. They have to, and I'm not exactly sure all the pieces that are on there. The roll cages may not be on there. It just depends on the vehicle itself, but they have to do some assembly. And I can kind of understand that. You do have to pay someone to do that. But maybe that should be also included in their price. But it usually isn't, and there's usually some sort of fee regarding that. But at least you can see some. You can actually see some physical value of that because they are doing things. Dealerships will not offer, but they'll put it on fabric protection, paint protection, rust proofing and undercoating, desert protection packages, vehicle identification number etching, which is a big scam. Window tint, where they'll tell you, well, we're gonna tint the windows for you, and it's $500. And you think, well, hey, that's not so bad. I mean, it's probably a little overpriced. It's actually 2 or 3 times what it might cost. Then you find out the windows were tinted already. All they did was tint like 2 windows in the front. Kind of a joke. So you've got the security systems, appearance packages like door edge guards or mud flaps, pinstriping. All these things they'll charge you hundreds of dollars for. Big scam, nitrogen in the tires. 78% of the air we breathe has got nitrogen in it. So at best, they're adding 22% if it's pure nitrogen. It does nothing. GPS tracking, if you ever want something like that, you can get it on your own. You could buy something off Amazon. You could get a subscription to it, and you're all set. You don't have to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars. We talked about window etching already. And then last but not least, but it's not last because there's a lot more, ADMs, additional dealer markup. Never pay that. The people that are paying that are getting scammed. They don't know better, or they have no choice. Sometimes people run into situations where they have no choice. And they got into an accident. Their car motor blew up. There's situations where you need a car and you need it right away. And you may want a specific car. And people are forced into buying these at exorbitant prices. I have, in the last 2 months, seen dealer markups ranging from $5,000 to $25,000, all on regular vehicles, not specialty vehicles like a GT500 Mustang. You know, those can bring in more money. They never really do, but they try to get it from people. Don't let you be that person. When people pay that amount of money, those are the people that are making these dealerships feel empowered to keep doing it to other people. Then there's the financing. These are more places for them to fleece you out of money. Don't pay for things like employment insurance. Extended warranties are going to be something that's specific to you. I don't recommend them because I don't keep cars that long. But if you're buying a new car, you're typically going to have a warranty that's going to last you 3 years right off the bat at a minimum. And if you don't keep a car that long, why? Why get it? You're going to pay anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 for an extended warranty on something that you don't even plan on keeping that long. And then you've got to try and get the money back. We've also got tire protection, gap. Gap is something that can come in handy if you're not putting a lot of money down. I've never had to use gap before, but I've gotten it on vehicles. Then I stopped getting it because my insurance provider, for a very small fee, roughly $10 a month, they will go ahead and pay me 20% more than the value of my car. And I believe that's with USA insurance, and that's typically on a new car or a very slightly used car. Now, that is something that can be very beneficial. You get your money back, and if you only keep the car a year, you haven't paid $600 or $1,000 for your gap. But these are all the products that they're selling to us that are complete garbage and utter nonsense, with the exception of maybe Gap. So why are they doing this? Well, it's clear it's just to make money. And why can they do this to us? Because of government regulations that prevent manufacturers from selling directly to the consumer. And this is something that happens in a lot of states. Texas is one of them right now. New Mexico is another one. These are the things that are preventing consumers from buying directly from the manufacturer. And these laws are protecting the dealerships. It's from the NADA. They are the group that has a large lobby, and they are protecting the dealerships. The dealerships give them millions of dollars to pay off politicians every year. This is what is killing the consumers on this. Taking money out of your pocket to pay a middleman. An example of this was on CarBuzz. CarBuzz had an article a couple months ago, and Kia dealers got smacked with a big fine for deceptive advertising. And I had this happen to me. A couple months ago, I went in to look at an EV6, and they said they had one in stock. I saw the price online. I asked them if they had an ADM, and they said, we can work out a deal with you. We'll be able to, we're always wanting to sell cars. We will work something out. I was like, okay. To the way he said it, he implied that no, they didn't. So I went in, I looked at the car, I drove the car was great. They had a $10,000 markup on the car. I said, well, I spoke to this guy, Chris, and he said, you guys are going to be willing to work out a deal on this, and I'm ready to buy this car today. And they said, well, yeah, it's $10,000 markup. No, I'm not doing that. Chris said you guys would work out a deal. Well, no, you're willing to meet halfway? No, I'm not. I'm not willing to pay $5,000 extra for nothing. I said, where is the value in that for me? What am I getting for that $5,000? Well, this car's in high demand. It's the best-selling car. It's the best-selling electric car on the market right now. I'm like, no, it's not. I drove here in a Tesla Model Y, sitting right there. That's the best-selling car right now for EVs. So don't tell me that this is the best-selling car. I said to him, how many have you sold? Oh, we've sold a few hundred. I'm like, that car sells 60,000 a month. Don't tell me that this is the best car or the best-selling car. Maybe it is a best car, but no, you haven't sold that many. Don't tell me this. Stop. There's no value in it. And we went on for a little bit, and eventually I said, goodbye. I'm not buying this car, not for an extra $10,000. As the car dealers like to say, well, is there a gold brick in the back? No, there wasn't. So it wasn't worth $10,000 more. So we had a Kia dealer get in trouble for deceptive advertising. What they did was they put out the MSRP up on a web page, or they advertised with it. Then when you got in there, they found additional add-ons on the car. They had an add-on for a security system, and they had an additional dealer markup of $25,000. They took this like $54,000 car and they made it into like $87,000, which is quite incredible. So would you pay $87,000 for a Kia EV6? No, you better not. because as soon as the market straightens out a little bit, your car is going to be worth $40,000. You're going to want to buy the gap insurance on that, and you might have to drive that into a tree because that's the only way you're getting out of that car, because that is an astronomical amount of money just to put $25,000 in someone else's pocket. If there is anybody out there that doesn't mind paying that ADM, we have a Patreon account. Feel free to just contribute that money into my Patreon account, because you're going to get nothing back for it except for a big thank you. That's all you get from the dealer also. If a thank you is worth that much, you know where to put it now. So is there value in a dealership as opposed to a service center? Not really. A service center in the future could offer us everything that a car dealership offers us without just us paying thousands and thousands of dollars extra to a dealership for nothing. And we're going to do a future video on what an ideal service center would look like as opposed to a dealership model. And a service center would be the ones delivering the cars. They'd be the ones servicing them and the ones that are going to help you out. There's a lot of different aspects to it and how it would be so much more beneficial for the auto manufacturers. And I'm sure they know this, but they can't get their hands out of these contracts that they're in these agreements. So how do we stop them? How do we stop the dealerships from doing this to us? Well, we have to stop paying the ADM. Okay, that's the first thing. Negotiate on everything you possibly can. If you don't like to negotiate or you feel intimidated by it, take somebody with you that is going to be your fiduciary. Someone who's going to look out for your best interests. Someone who's willing to spend a couple hours and be there for you. But find someone who can do that, or just do it yourself. Stand up for yourself. Say no. Say no. Say no. Not good enough. Tell them what you buy the car at, but do your research first. So the other thing we can do, that is going to be to write your congressman. If you're in one of these states that does not allow direct to consumers, write a letter to your congressman. Ask them, do you take money from the NADA? Do you take money from any dealership association? Are you representing me as a voter or them as a contributor to your campaign? Talk to people, or find somebody who will. If you're not an activist, that's fine. I'm not an activist either. But find somebody who will, even if it's just an email. You send it out, let them know that you're not happy. Hey guys, I'm going to wrap it up for this video, but there's always a lot more to say about dealerships. I've got a lot of experiences with them. Love to share them. I've also got a little bit of knowledge because I worked at one years and years ago for a very short time. And I've got stories from them that I still remember that are really just horrific. But in any case, thanks for watching this. If you guys got any feedback, you want to see something specific about a car dealership, you want to see me go buy a car, maybe we can do a video on that one day, because that I think would be kind of fun. And you could watch me just be a jerk to the salesman. I hate doing that because they're just mostly like young kids, a lot of inexperienced people in car dealerships. And then there's the ones that are very experienced and they know how to schmooze and be your friend. But anyway, thanks for watching. Put your comments down in the comments below, and let's see where this video goes. Maybe we're going to do like 8 more because we could. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.